Coming up on the Life is the Future podcast.
In like many years, do you guys still see yourself having a tight, like close relationship with your siblings?
Yeah. I think the older you get, the more closer you guys get because, when you're young, like you're at that age of like snitching, like oh he hit you, like that. When you get older, you realize how how important that person is and how actually cool and nice they are to you after you both are chill.
Yeah, I know. Like heavy on that tattletale things. I used to do that a lot with my brother.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to regret all those years I used to fight with him, cause now he's going away next year, and probably not gonna talk to him as much as I would with him in the house.
Yeah.
I think I have the same kind of fear that when I go off to college for at least 2 years,
Sister.
yeah, my sister, I mean, obviously at that point you'll make a lot of friends and those will be the people that you will be with.
Yeah,
but then you also, I feel like it's kind of just part of life, but I think it's up to us to keep up a good relationship with your siblings because it's always important. So.
Yeah, my parents said when I was young, oh, you and your sister are gonna have a great relationship. You just not right now, but later you guys will be really chill.
Hey, it's Scott Todnam, and you're listening to the Life is the Future podcast, a podcast for health education, middle school, and life in general. It's episode 10 of season 7 of our podcast, and this week's hosts, Dhruva and Kanishk, talk with their classmates Rishaan and Jaynish about learning outside of the classroom. It's an interesting topic, right? How all of our year-to-year experiences can contribute to lifelong learning. I don't think we've seen this topic come up in all of our years of podcasting, so I'm thankful that the students are going to dive into that today. As always, I'll be back at the end to wrap some things up. For now, here's Dhruva and Kanishk. Enjoy.
Hey guys, welcome to the Life of the Future podcast. I'm Kanishk, this is Dhruva, this is Rishaan, and this is Jaynish.
Today we're going to be talking a little bit about what we do with our family or outside of school stuff. So to start, my first question is, what do you like doing with your family outside of school?
Honestly, my family, we all play golf. So we all just sometimes just go to a golf course or a driving range, and when it's winter we play in my simulator, just hang out. Or we come from a family that loves cards, so we play cards a lot, or make food.
Yeah, cooking.
Yeah.
For me, my dad travels a lot for work, so when he's here, I like to go for recreational activities like Top Golf or Main Event and things like that. And I also enjoy watching some older movies with him, discussing things about that.
Yeah.
I think just for me, I just spend time with my family watching TV or something. Nothing too much.
Yeah, I agree with Jaynish as well, because my family also likes board games and stuff, so it's always we don't do that too much, but if we can, we do. But then there's always movies outside of school, weekend nights is movies, watch a lot of movies. Yeah.
So when you guys don't have your parents home necessarily or anyone to interact with, what do you do as that next step to keep yourself entertained?
So for me, I really enjoy playing guitar, and whenever I'm bored or something, I just play guitar. And I like learning songs that, I enjoy listening to, or otherwise I'm just kind of on electronics and devices like that, social media.
Yeah, same. I'm either on electronics, or I just practice golf because of tournaments, and or I just randomly pick up a deck of cards and do stuff with that.
I would say for me, I also like playing instrument. I do the drums, and I practice that at home. So sometimes when my parents are not at home, I do that by myself. Also because really loud. So especially because both my parents work from home, so I can't really be playing it while they're in meetings or anything. So that's when I find free time to do it. So that's one of the main things. But other than that, social media, I think that's pretty common, with most people. But,
when I can't find something to entertain myself, most likely I'll just go on my phone. But other times I'll play something with my brother, or I'll play with my cat.
Yeah. I think next question is probably travel based? Like, do you guys like to travel, or is it something that you guys
Yeah,
don't prefer?
I like to travel with my family. We have like this yearly thing with all the cousins. Like we go to Wisconsin Dells, like the water parks
Oh yeah,
area.
I've been there. Once.
Yeah, and then we usually go to Atlanta. We drive down to Atlanta like once every few years to visit other cousins.
Yeah. So you have like a yearly thing.
A yearly thing, and then like once in a half decade thing.
That's cool.
I don't travel much internationally, but I do visit California a lot. Like I am going there in spring break, and I find
Yeah.
that really fun.
Is that where your dad travels?
Yeah,
to?
my dad's headquartered there, so
Right.
we visit there a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, for me, I guess, like, I'm, like, going on road trips pretty often. And also, if I like traveling, but like, I've done, like, most of my traveling to interesting places when I was super young.
Yeah.
And then kind of, like, you kind of realize, like, how much you didn't take it in back then.
Yeah.
And now
Yeah.
you want it now.
I
For
think it's
sure.
also harder to, like, when you're at a younger age, like, you don't remember too much as compared to, like, if you were to go now, then I feel like it would stick with you for a longer time.
Yeah,
Definitely.
So for me, it's kind of the opposite. When I was younger, we had like a yearly thing almost, or every 2 years we would go to India, and every time it was just India to the same places to meet grandparents. But now it's starting to become like
more diverse.
yeah to different places, because it's like you can remember it for longer, so the experiences matter a little more, like seeing different new places. So for me, that's how it is now. But there's also, with like the road trips thing you said, that's also pretty common. Except for me, it's like I get a lot of road trip travel when I have to travel for soccer. So
Yeah.
that's like when it's most common. But other than that, every like now and then when a break comes up, like
You like-
spring break or winter break, whatever it is, like here and there there'll be a
Vacation.
trip. Yeah.
I also go to travel for like golf.
Yeah.
We had a trip recently to DC. How did you guys feel about that? Like, us three?
It was honestly, it was really compacted in like a day, but it was a fun experience with the roommates. Like, especially the hotel, it was fun just
Yeah.
playing with them and just like making new active memories together.
Yeah. I agree too. Like, I think there was one aspect was like learning about the places that we went to, and for me it was a lot of things I hadn't seen before, because I've only been there once, and most of the things that we saw when we went were new to me. But there was also like staying with friends in the hotel room. That was fun, because that's like kind of a different experience. That this is kind of like our first time doing
Yeah,
it.
like the first time without your parents. And it's like
Yeah.
it's a big step too, because like first time going to the airport security without your parents.
Yeah, that's true.
First time going
Airplane
in a hotel,
too, I guess.
Yeah,
airplane
Yeah.
without your parents.
Yeah.
It's kind of different.
Yeah.
So as you guys know, I wasn't there. So like,
Yeah.
what were some highlights of the trip?
Honestly, one night we like stayed up like a while and played
Yeah, like
cards.
12.
It was like a fun time, and we just bonded all together. Like,
Yeah.
and it was just overall fun. And we also tried to like get Netflix on the TV.
Yeah, that didn't work.
That one was also fun. It's just all part of the experience.
Yeah. I know the other rooms were saying definitely more late than we were. Like, we were
Yeah.
trying to get sleep, because
Yeah.
every day, it was actually, there was pretty, like, solid schedule as well.
It was like a
It was
long
just,
time
like-
outside, so
yeah,
you
and we had to
couldn't
be ready, like, at the breakfast place, like,
super early.
yeah, at, like, 7:30 or something. So we definitely went to bed early, but
Yeah.
it was
So-
all just part of experiencing.
I have another question. You know, you guys know that we're going to high school next year, and after high school, it's like next 4 years. How much time are you gonna spend with How are you gonna try spending time with your family? Because you're gonna go off to college after that.
I think like right now this is like one of the last easy years you're gonna get before you're
Mhm.
gone.
Yeah.
So I'll try to spend like live in the moment with my family, and when I get to high school, maybe do some like homework like as soon as I get home, do it early. Use
Yeah.
like academic achieve time to like do that so I can be with my family.
Mhm.
Even if it's like small, like sitting together for dinner.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
yeah. What about you?
I think that I would try to like spend my years in high school as much as with time with them, because I know that, you know, after college, even if you're like in the same state, you're not going to be as much in contact. So I think keeping contact and connection is something that's really important too.
How often does your dad travel?
He travels like weekly, but it can also depend from his schedule. You know, he travels
Yeah.
internationally too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Have you guys all traveled internationally?
Yeah.
Yeah, many times when I was young, like.
What was your like favorite place so far?
I've been to Madrid and Barcelona. I like them because I got to view like the FC Barcelona stadium, and the food there was like really good.
I used to travel to India annually, but I think that one of the biggest international trips was Singapore. Although I don't like remember it fully because I was really young, like through pictures I kind of remembered it, and I think that was a really cool experience.
Nice.
Like going to Universal there and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it was like either Portugal or Morocco, because it was like super fun seeing the streets over there. It's much more lively than you would get like almost anywhere in the U.S.
Yeah. For
And
me,
it was,
sorry.
you can go.
All right. For me, it was. I actually have to agree with Jaynish because for me it was Barcelona as well, because it was the first time that I was near the beach.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's not an ocean. Like that's
It's
the sea, right?
the
But
sea, yeah.
yeah. But for me, it's kind of nostalgic because because when I used to live in California, we would go to the beach very often.
Yeah.
So to me, it was like kind of special, and so the whole beach thing, like we went to the beach in Barcelona, and that was really fun.
Yeah, like
And
nostalgia.
yeah, and when I went, it was kind of special also because I was meeting a friend who moved there for like a year or something. So that was also fun because he was my friend in elementary school. So yeah, it was special to me, but also just the culture. It was just so different, and you just get to like experience it all firsthand.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I think also just like the nostalgia thing, it just creates memories, and that's like stuff you can't forget,
Yeah.
even if you tried.
Even like
Yeah.
the small things.
Yeah.
How do you guys make sacrifices to keep a good relationship with your family members? Because like I know for myself that staying on my phone 24/7 isn't gonna help me
Yeah.
talk to my family members,
Yeah.
right? So I turn off my phone and I go talk to my mom or my dad.
Yeah, like continuing what you said, like you gotta sacrifice a bit of what you do to like make others feel happy,
Yeah.
like about you. So like for my mom, I'll do some chores and then maybe like watch a show or play cards with her. And my sister, well, she just takes me some places in her car, so we have like that bond. And for my dad, we play golf inside.
Yeah.
So I always like come to him when I need help for homework, and I can see like that makes him really happy.
Yeah. What about you?
I think that definitely like you said, like sacrificing technology or not playing online with friends and stuff, because you know I understand that like spending time with family is something that's very limited, and you know hanging out with friends, you know seeing them in school is something that I still have a lot of time to do, things like that.
I think I agree as well. I think being like getting yourself off of technology, off of like not all the time it's distractions, because sometimes it's like maybe you are talking to friends and like that's part of your social life and that's fine, but sometimes like when you are just scrolling, then you can use that time instead to be with your family as well, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's not just like when they are like asking you to like do something, it's also just voluntarily like to make a decision on your own, because that's when like it shows them also that you like
You
care about being
them.
with them and spending time, and you understand that, like you said, the time is limited with them compared to like friends. You always make new friends, but you know.
How do you guys like celebrate important events in your family, like birthdays or any holiday or anything like that?
So for me, my grandfather passed away like when my dad was a very young age, and he passed away on New Year's. So every New Year's we go to the temple, both for to do like a puja, which is like an Indian celebration for his death, and also just like blessings for the new year.
Yeah.
And for me, either we like always make like a homemade gift for whoever we're celebrating or what we're celebrating,
Yeah.
and that just shows like how much we care.
Yeah.
And we just like to keep things simple with like a nice like good homemade dinner.
That's very very something that I feel like we do as well, because I know that for birthdays especially, I've seen this like with my sister a lot. For everyone in my family, like even for Christmas, it's not really like in our like religion, because it's part of Christianity, but we still do it just for like fun
Yeah,
and like
same.
the idea of having it. So I know like it's a big thing with my sister where she just likes to make homemade stuff, because for everyone, like my parents, we all understand like that's way more meaningful than like something, if you can't think of something and you're just like trying to make someone happy. Like what she does is like, that's why it's special to us, and like something that only she's been doing for like a long time. So for me it's kind of similar, like homemade stuff and just doing simple things.
Yeah, same thing. Same thing for me when it comes to Christmas. It's like we like most of the time we put up the tree, or we do stuff like that. But we're not Christian, so we don't pray or go to the temple or anything like that.
Yeah.
But during birthdays, we normally just go out. We spend like tons of time as family.
Yeah. Same thing, I think, for birthdays. But also, like, New Year's, like you said, for us, it's like, it's special for everyone, right? But it's never been like you go somewhere with like a bunch of people and like public to like celebrate. It's always, I mean, I always remember having a celebration inside the house, just watching it on TV.
Yeah.
So it's like we celebrate it, but not all the time. It's something like big and extravagant or anything. Yeah.
Yeah, so I know I said something like this before, but like, how do you like, instead of your whole family, how do you like specifically bond with one person in your family rather than everyone as a whole?
Honestly, I just would get to know them like one-on-one. Maybe just text them a little or like talk in person. And then I would find something that we have in common and really bring out that aspect of me, so that we both feel like we're both like
Bonding.
and
Yeah.
we have similarities.
Yeah.
So with my mom, like usually on the weekdays she's tired from work and I'm usually busy with schoolwork, but on the weekends we kind of go out a lot. You know, like we go to the mall just, you know, for a change of scene, just to walk around and talk. And with my dad, I like to like, you know, keep in contact with him, text him, call him. And we also just, like I mentioned before, like just go for some activities outside.
Yeah. For me, I think a lot of the stuff I do is like with the entire family combined, but the times when I get like one-on-one with my parents is like if one is traveling. Like my dad travels not as much as your dad probably, but he still does travel like every month at least. And so whenever that happens, I get to like spend time with my mom and my sister a little more. Or like the opposite, like if my mom is traveling, her friend lives like in a different state, so sometimes she goes to hang out with her for like a week or two. And so during those times, it's like you live with whoever's with you, kind of. And apart from that, me and my sister, we this year we go to the same school. I mean, I don't really see her during school or anything, but I know like during our childhood, we would like have a lot of time together. And like, I don't know, I keep seeing like old videos that my parents took of us like when we were kids, and it would always just come up. And like, I know we were talking about culture and like what we do for birthdays. I just remembered this, but they normally like have a slideshow of like pictures of every year birthday and like yeah. So I just remembered that because they do that for like both my sister and me. So
Yeah, I agree. I mean, when I'm trying to, like, I bond with my dad by watching football with him during football season. We'll watch, like, the whole game together and just talk about it. And then with my mom, during the summer, I'll go with her on walks. And during the winter, I'll go shopping with her. And then, like, I agree. My parents have, like, whole bunch of photos and videos of me and my brother when we were young.
Yeah, I think it's like important what you said, like finding something that you and the family member that you want to bond with, like something that's like
Special.
yeah, special, or like only between you two. So like with my dad, it's like recently it's been like going to the gym or something.
Yeah.
But then like with my mom, it's kind of just like around the house, because that's when I
Yeah.
spend most of the time with her, like whether it's helping her out like in the kitchen, or like playing a game with her, or like even when she takes me to like practice, it's even those small times, like in the car, like just having
just, like,
just talking to them, and I think
Yeah,
it's
that's like the
special.
same thing for my sister. Like, we don't get to talk that much because she's focused on college and that. But like, we do have this one class on Mondays, and when we're in the car, we always just talk. And random times on the weekends, she'll take me with her friends
Yeah.
to just hang out
Yeah.
and give me food.
I mean, I agree with that, but like I don't really go out with my brother too much unless, like, I go out with him sometimes, but not as much. Most of the time I'm talking to my mom or my dad rather than my brother, since he's like, high school's hard and he's doing stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, as a single child, in, like, many years, do you guys still see yourself having a tight, like, close relationship with your siblings?
Yeah, I think the older you get, the more closer you guys get, because, you know, when you're young, like, you're at that age of, like, snitching, like, oh, he hit me.
Yeah.
Like, that, when you get older, you realize how, like, how
maturity,
important that
yeah.
person is, and how, like, actually cool and nice they are to
Yeah.
you after you both are, like, chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, like heavy on that tattletale things. I used to do that a lot with my brother.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm starting to regret all those years I used to fight with him, because now he's going away next year, and probably not going to talk to him as much as I would with him in the house.
Yeah.
I think I have the same, like, kind of fear that, like, when I go off to college for, like, at least, 2 years, like,
Your sister.
yeah, my sister, like, I mean, obviously, at that point, you'll make a lot of friends, and, like, those will be the people that you will be with.
Yeah,
But then you also, I feel like it's kind of just part of life, but I think it's up to, like, us to, like, keep up a good relationship with your siblings, because it's always important to, like,
yeah, like, my cousin always, like, comes back now from because she goes to, like, IU. She always comes back every weekend to hang out. But, like, it's like my parents said when I was young, like, oh, you and your sister are going to have, like, a great relationship. You, just not right now, but later
Yeah.
you guys will be, like, really chill.
Do you guys have a lot of cousins?
Yeah.
I have tons.
Too many.
I actually don't. I only have, like, one, like,
Yeah,
first
I
cousin.
used to have only one for, like, most of my childhood, but now I have 2 more, but that's it, because a lot of, like, the friends that I have, like, I know always talk about, like, meeting with their cousins,
mean-
like, older cousins, but I'm, like, the oldest out of all of them, and I can't relate with that as much.
Yeah, so what my mom told me is that back when she was young, like, the cousins that she had were more like brothers and sisters to her,
Yeah.
because they were always together, like, every single day. And, like, for them, like, that, like, translates to how my second cousins basically, for me, are like first cousins, because they're so close.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, we always have, like, these meetings, and like I said, we're, like, a card-playing family, so everyone just makes a big circle. And when we're bored, we just make something out of it.
All right, there it is. Thanks to Jaynish and Rishaan for joining Dhruva and Kanishk today to talk about travel, vacations, school trips, but also time with family, and how all of that can create a well-rounded person with a great worldview. It can get a bit expensive for some of our students and families to afford some of the school trips, but we do have an opportunity for students to visit our state capital as well as the nation's capital in Washington, D.C. Aside from that, you heard the students talk about real-life experiences as they travel either within the states or even overseas. It's always nice to hear some of those candid conversations week to week. Our hosts are getting better and better each month as they continue to develop life skills here of communication, decision making, advocacy, and self-management. I'm always thankful for the insight, and I hope you are too. If you know someone that would appreciate what we're up to, please share. That always helps us reach our intended audience. We're going to continue rolling with season 7 of the Life is the Future podcast. And remember, we have an understudy program as well where 7th graders follow along with our 8th graders and learn a little bit of the tricks of the trade. Make sure to check out all our video and audio media and also subscribe so that you can keep up to date as our school year progresses. Until next time, thanks for tuning in.